First, the highlights. Lagos State government pledges commitment to Lagosians' well-being. Calls for residents' participation in budget preparation process. House of Representatives probes missing crude oil, dirty fuel. On a foreign scene, United Arab Emirates jails 57 Bangladeshis over anti-government protests. And in sports, Nigeria's D Tigress loses to Serbia in second pre-Olympic friendly game. And now the details. I am Akan Usen. The Lagos State government has reiterated its commitment to the well-being of residents as the preparation for the 2025 budget process begins. Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Okpe George, emphasized this while speaking on the year 2025 budget preparation process, urging residents to actively participate by attending and contributing meaningfully at the scheduled venues. George said virtual attendance has been arranged to ensure that all interested members of the public can participate. He highlighted the importance of citizens' engagement in the budget process, noting that many government programs stem from yearly consultation forums. George urged residents to register for physical attendance in various areas or log in online and participate by sending an email to budget@lagostate.gov.ng to indicate interest. The Stakeholders Forum kicks off tomorrow at Eco Club in the Lagos Division. Lagos State Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Tolani Ali Balogun, has enjoined community leaders in riverine areas of the state to protect education infrastructure in their communities for the benefit of school-age children. Ali Balogun stated this during a visit to schools in the riverine areas of Ojo and Otuawori areas of Lagos in the company of the Commissioner for Tertiary Education, Tolani Sule, and the Special Advisor to the Governor on Sustainable Development Goals, Oreoluwa Fini. He reiterated Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration's plan to build more schools and technical skill acquisition centers, especially in rural areas, and identified underserved communities. Ali Balogun assured the community leaders that the request for more education infrastructure will be addressed in line with the administration's Themes Plus agenda and the ministry's crusade not to leave any child behind. The Lagos State Police Command has announced the postponement of a town hall meeting with the theme Enhanced Community Engagement and Participation in Fostering Peace, Security and Unity in Lagos State. Commissioner of Police in Lagos, Adegoke Fayoade, in a statement informed that the town hall meeting, originally slated for Tuesday, July 23, has been postponed to Thursday, July 25, 2024. Fayoade explained that the postponement was necessary to enable a more inclusive, comprehensive, and engaging meeting, stressing that the attendance and invaluable contributions of members of the public at the meeting will be eagerly anticipated. He added that the venue remains Powa Hall, Oduduwa Street, Ikeja, GRA, while the time remains 10 a.m. Now to the rest of the stories. The Joint Committee of the House of Representatives carrying out a forensic investigation into the challenges affecting the downstream and midstream petroleum sectors has commenced a probe into allegations of importation of contaminated premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, into the country. The committee's chairman, Ikenga Ugochinyere, made this known at the formal inauguration of the panel in Abuja. Ugochinyere said the investigative panel will also look into allegations of the non-availability of crude oil to domestic refineries, disruption in distribution, and favoritism in the pro forma invoice regime, among others. Briefing newsmen at the event, Ugochinyere said the committee will conduct a legislative forensic investigation into the presence of middlemen in crude trading, indiscriminate issuance of licenses, and alleged unavailability of international standard laboratories to check adulterated products. Meanwhile, the panel is set to visit petrol stations nationwide to take samples of their products for laboratory tests to ascertain their quality. Egyptian ambassador to Nigeria, Mohamed Fouad, says Nigeria and Egypt look forward to improving bilateral relations. Fouad, who spoke in Abuja on the occasion of the 72nd anniversary of the 23rd July revolution of his country, said that as of 2023, the trade volume between the countries stood at $190 million. The envoy expressed surprise at the level of bilateral relations between both countries, saying deliberate efforts are on to improve it going forward. He said 2 major programs have been lined up as part of the efforts to improve interactions between both countries. Fouad added that the bilateral political consultations during the last quarter of the year and the Business Council in September are both scheduled for Nigeria. And now to foreign news. A court in the United Arab Emirates, UAE, has handed 57 Bangladeshis long prison terms for holding protests in the Gulf state against their own country's government. 3 of the unnamed defendants were sentenced to life for inciting riots in several streets across the UAE, while 53 others were jailed for 10 years and 1 for 11 years. Protests are effectively illegal in the UAE, where foreigners make up almost 90% of the population. Bangladeshis are the 3rd largest expatriate group. The trial of the 57 Bangladeshis heard that they had organized large-scale marches in several streets of the UAE in protest against decisions made by the Bangladeshi government. The court rejected the defendants' defense and ordered that they be deported after serving their sentences. Now, Sports Nigeria's senior women's basketball team, the D Tigers, has suffered a second consecutive warm-up game defeat to Serbia in Belgrade as the team continues preparations for the 2024 Paris Olympics Games. The African champions lost 70 to 62 points to the 10th ranked country in the FIBA World Ranking. This is the team's second match ahead of the women's basketball tournament of the 2024 Olympic Games, following a 77 to 63 defeat to Germany at the UBA Arena in Berlin on Friday. The Nigerian team will play the final warm-up game against Japan on July 24 in Lille, France, before the start of the basketball event at the Olympics. Nigeria faces a titanic battle against Canada, Australia, and host France in Group B. And that's all for the news at 4. Slow down at road junctions, intersections, and pedestrian crossings. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. On YouTube, subscribe and watch us live on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration renovated 197 public schools across the state? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has reiterated its commitment to the well-being of residents as the preparation for the 2025 budget process begins. The Joint Committee of the House of Representatives, carrying out a forensic investigation into the challenges affecting the downstream and midstream petroleum sectors, has commenced a probe into allegations of importation of contaminated premium motor spirit, also known as fuel, into the country. We also told you that a court in the United Arab Emirates has handed 57 Bangladeshis long prison terms for holding protests in the Gulf state against their own country's government. And in sports, Nigeria's senior women's basketball team, the D Tigers, has suffered a second consecutive warm-up game defeat to Serbia in Belgrade as the team continues preparations for the 2024 Paris Olympics Games. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Coyote Mafalashiri. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe.